Okay, it's a minute to 12. Welcome to this webinar with myself and Ian Sadler. I think we're just about to go live. We're just approaching 12 o'clock, everybody. So if you're joining our live webinar this afternoon, brought to you by Welcome to Yorkshire in collaboration with insight6, we're just waiting for people to join the webinar, and we'll probably give that another minute, maybe 90 seconds max, and then we'll start with the script. So you can follow us online. You can tweet any questions in at Welcome to Yorkshire Industry, so that's at WTY Industry, our newly revamped Twitter feed, because of course it's about customer service today, so we're making sure that we're doing our very best for our followers. And I'll ask you, do we call you customers, do we call you consumers? But we can come on to that during the presentation. So without further ado, I'm going to start, if that's okay. So thank you and welcome to everyone for joining us. It's just gone 12 o'clock. The sun is shining, so every reason to be positive today, isn't that right, Ian? So since lockdown, we've started to deliver a range of business advice webinars, and you can catch up with many of these previous episodes via our web page, which is on our website, yorkshire.com. And if you go to /latest news, you'll be able to find various videos, and we can add that to the Q&A panel on the right-hand side of the screen as well. From the feedback we've received so far, these webinars have been useful to you, the consumer, and we'll continue to deliver more, but we're also looking out for adding further ones to the programme. So if you've got any ideas of what you'd like to hear about, let us know. Alternatively, if you'd like to host one and your current Welcome to Yorkshire partner, we'd be more than delighted to take that on board. We'll take all feedback and questions and suggestions through our email info@yorkshire.com, and that can be found again on our website. So as I mentioned, I'm joined by Ian Sadler from insight6. Hello, Ian. Customer experience specialist here in the UK. And now more than ever, one would imagine that delivering the best customer experience in a post-COVID world is now more important than ever. So I'll introduce Ian properly in a few minutes and what insight6 are about and what they can offer, but quickly an update as to where Welcome to Yorkshire as an organisation are right now in the middle of a crisis, in the middle of the coronavirus pandemic. But as things shift from minute to minute, hour to hour, day to day, we find ourselves very much in recovery planning mode. We've held a number of webinars in the past few weeks, as I mentioned at the top of the hour, but more recently with local authorities, individuals that can actually implement change to society and maybe bring about certain regulations or policies that will affect how we consume anything going forward. So we're in the middle of planning a recovery for the Yorkshire tourism industry, but we've been quite honest in our appraisal of the situation. The breadth, the depth, the complexity of the problem means that there probably isn't a one-size-fits-all solution to this. So we're conscious that our recovery plan needs to be pan-Yorkshire, but then there will be splinters off if you're on the Yorkshire coast, if you're a rural or a coastal area of the county, compared to a big city like Leeds or Sheffield, Hull or York. On our website, as I mentioned, yorkshire.com/latest news, you'll find plenty of industry resources available free to all businesses, whether you're a member or not. Because we think it's right that at this moment in time, we don't want to exclude anyone. We want to make sure that our advice, our resources, or Visit Britain's or the government's, Ian's or anyone's, should be available for anyone. So you can sign up online. You can follow our Twitter feed, as I mentioned, at WTY Industry is our new social media handle for anyone to join in. A couple of campaigns that we're hoping to launch in the next few weeks. The Yorkshire gift card, which is principally aimed at locking in spend for the Yorkshire economy. So we'll be launching this in the next few weeks, whereby it'll be a MasterCard type card, whereby you or your family or friends or extended family across the world can buy this, and you can spend it at one of hopefully thousands of businesses within Yorkshire that will accept it. So we'll explain this in the next few weeks and days. Our Days In campaign is focusing on what you can do whilst you are at home, whether you're furloughed, whether you're working from home like most of us are, or you're a parent or guardian looking after children right now. We appreciate it's very difficult. So we're giving you some inspiration as to what you can do right now whilst keeping tourism at the forefront of your mind. Our World Cup of Yorkshire has been a huge success in terms of digital engagement. The latest one is about to be announced today, and that will be your favourite hotels in Yorkshire that we can all hopefully enjoy in the coming months. This is why our magazine is now online, and that's something that anyone can partake in right now. You can download that online. And finally, we're going to rebrand ourselves in the next few weeks, Ian. You might like this as Welcome Back to Yorkshire, as we hope that we can start encouraging people back to our new beauty spots. So, who are insight6? insight6 work with over 1,000 businesses within the UK to measure and improve the customer experience, with many in the tourism industry, so pertinent to ourselves, such as visitor attractions, town and city centres, farm shops, hotels, hospitality companies, events, retail, sports and leisure. So a real broad mix across the economy. insight6 have delivered many workshops on customer experience for Welcome to Yorkshire in the past, and today's webinar will focus on how to ensure your customer experience is the best it can be for the customer, of course, but also instilling that in your staff, especially taking into account how to manage the impact of COVID-19. insight6 measure the entire end-to-end customer journey to help increase your sales and profitability through improving that customer service experience. You know, how do you consume a business's products, the service that they offer you? Because in a world where we can write reviews the minute we leave a restaurant or a hotel, or complain via Twitter or Facebook about bad or good service, it's very, very important. They provide this through advanced feedback, training and motivating your team, customer experience reviews, customer journey mapping, which is something that Welcome to Yorkshire are really interested in, that customer journey from the moment you jump on our website to when you actually end up at a tourist destination that we may have recommended. Online feedback, focus and listening groups, mentoring and coaching. Extremely familiar with the sectors they work in, and the customer experience directors, including Ian, have fantastic local knowledge within the region. As a result, you will receive knowledge, support and information allowing you to benchmark yourself against other businesses within your industry and area. So Ian Sadler, Customer Experience Director for North Yorkshire, is here with us today. Ian, thank you for joining us today. Really appreciate that. Just a bit of housekeeping before you start with the presentation. The webinar is being recorded, so hopefully we can share this online with anyone unable to join us today. We'll be live up until 1 o'clock. We'll cover any questions around 12:45, 12:50 when Ian's finished the presentation. So please feel free to use the chat box on the right hand side, email or tweet us your questions, and we'll pick those up with Ian afterwards. But between now and then, we're going to hand over to Ian to take us through the presentation, write some notes and go from there. So Ian, thanks for joining us. It's over to you.
Thank you, James. Thank you. Welcome to Yorkshire. That was the best warm-up I've ever had, ever. I like this. Right. Right, lovely. Welcome to Yorkshire members and guests today. Thank you for joining me. What we're going to do, I'm going to share my screen at this point to make sure that's working. So the objective of today, for those who have joined us, I would like to think you've all got an interest or certainly like and understand what customer experience is about. Today is very much about me sharing with you ideas, hints and tips on how you can improve your customer experience. We will start by going through sort of some of the basics to then come on to some ideas. I think everyone can see my screen. If not, Welcome to Yorkshire will tell me, I'm sure. So yeah, that's me.
We can see it, Ian. Just to reassure you, we can all see it.
Thank you, James. Thank you. So yeah, that's Ian Sadler when he's actually allowed out the house and he does wear a suit. Have put a shirt on today, which was nice. So yeah, to go on. So to add to what James has said there, insight6, this is who we are. I won't go through the numbers on there, but yeah, what we're about is the customer experience to us is very much about the emotional part of how you can make people feel. So, you know, what we do with the businesses we work with is we care about them. We're about helping them to deliver a great customer experience through measurement, training and development. We do work with professional services as well, family businesses, groups and chains, small, medium and large. But yeah, we have being in Yorkshire, clearly we're a heartbeat of tourism around here. So we have lots of tourism clients. Some are on this call, I believe, today. We have a passion about trying to make sure that you do deliver the best Yorkshire experience you can, that warm welcome. But yeah, the businesses we work with, they can get frustrated. They can get frustrated that their team members are not always delivering to the standards which are set within that business. They can get concerned that customers are not coming back to them. They want to retain them. They want to see them more often. They want them to spend more money. And yeah, they all want to develop and grow. So they want more money, you know, in their own pockets. And yeah, as we go through today, yeah, to be really clear, we are a team. We are a team at Insight6. So I'm certainly based in North Yorkshire. The other people in Insight6 Yorkshire are Michelle Russ down in South Yorkshire. And then actually we have two people covering West Yorkshire. That's Sarah Percy and Chris Lowe. You might have met these people at webinars before. But let's continue, get into some information. So demystifying CX. So CX is abbreviation of customer experience, just to be really clear. So the why even bother? Okay, so we all know of great stories, of great experiences where you remember the people, you remember that business, you go back to it time and time again. But disappointingly, there are also occasions when you come across those bad experiences and you just don't go and you tell so many other people the reasons not to visit and not to go back. So what we're about is trying to make sure that you do deliver that positive customer experience and you make people feel special. You make them feel like they want to come back and visit you. So that's a big part of what we do. Why bother? Let's go with that. Why bother focusing or having any element of your business thinking about customer experience? Okay, why bother? Well, a reason to bother is it can help you to convert more sales, it can increase your average transactional spend, and it can make sure your customers use your services and products more often. Okay, so there are three easy things as to why you should focus on customer experience. A lot of people have marketing strategies, not many have customer experience strategies. That is what I'm hopefully going to educate you all with today. And when I say customer experience, just think about who is your customer. Okay, it's not just the people who are your prospects or the people who are actually spending with you now. It's also your staff. So as we go through this today, please think about your staff as well, and actually your suppliers, the suppliers who obviously give you the tools, what you need to deliver a great service. Okay, so to move on, 6 reasons to focus on customer experience. First of all, motivate word of mouth publicity. So we all know, I'm sure you've heard this stat before, you know, 1 in 26 people, if they have a bad service, will complain. But only 1 will officially make a complaint. The other 25 simply leave your business and they will just go and tell family, friends, the world of social media and tell you how bad you are as a business. So what we're trying to get you to focus on is that positive publicity. That is what can happen if you deliver a great CX. Reducing operational expenses is sometimes people forget about this. It's very much about reviewing your processes. So actually we're in a world now where, you know, I know some businesses are still going. A lot of businesses are, you know, are waiting to get started again. Look at your processes. Look at how you can streamline those internal measurements, internal ways of working, which has a benefit to the customer. Okay, so we often talk about design thinking in customer experience world. Another word for design thinking is just problem solving. What are those bugbears you've got in your business, or you know what you had 2 months ago, what you'll probably have at the back end of this year and next year? What is it you can do in problem solving mode now? You think, you know what, we do all these things, but it has absolutely no impact on the customer. What is it you can do to streamline? The bottom one there, retain more customers and increase lifetime value. As leaders, owners and managers, we typically don't have a business with no customers. So, okay, it's as simple as that. We don't. Therefore, for us, customer experience is about retaining them and making them come back more often. Okay, so go back to that time when you were allowed to go to the pub. Think the pub landlord, usual sir, all that sort of stuff. It is a positive experience in general. You know what people, they know what you want. It's trying to create an experience which is emotional. Okay, remove unnecessary barriers. I'm going to come back to that. Improve profit margins. This is, again, people overlook this with not having a customer experience strategy. It is about having a return on investment by investing in a customer experience. I can think about wedding venues, for example. Often, not everyone, but often we see that people have processes within that business to basically get them to come to your meeting, sell it online, show around, follow-up process, and it's all an internal process of what they believe is right. It often doesn't take into account the actual real needs of the customer and what they want. So that is what we do. We just try and get you to think more always about what is the customer feeling and thinking. What do they want? And growing customer loyalty. Clearly, it's great to have more people coming back to Yorkshire. That will happen. It will, no doubt about that. So we will all invest in marketing. Clearly, Welcome You to Yorkshire is doing a lot of that marketing for us. But what's really important for us is that you have, you as a business are using your social media and you use your customer experience. You use your clients and your customers and your patients even to basically say how great you are. You use it to grow customer loyalty. Removing unnecessary barriers, to go back to that. Focus on the customer and the team is what this is about. It's about seeing, feeling and hearing about your business. It's about celebrating positives of what you do really well, but then actually where there are any negatives in your business, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it now or then? So we often get managers and owners talking to their staff, just keep telling us what we're great at, but what is it, what is sort of annoying you? What is it, what's frustrating you? How can we improve? If you have a great idea as a business owner, what you think is going to make your business better, ask your staff for feedback. Throw it out there, give them the idea. If they all stay silent, I would be worried. Okay, everyone needs to be coming back and saying that's a great idea. Have you thought of this though? If you have a great idea, talk to people, talk to your team, and let's see what they think. Okay, silence is not always golden. You need them to basically embed into that culture. You need them to change that behavior. And this, for the ones who've been to our webinars last year, I like using this one. This is, your customer perception is very much your reality. Very, very much your reality. What they see, feel and hear about your business is absolutely crucial. So we look at this slide and we look at that IC4 as in, typically that is your business owner or manager. You think everything's right. You're going to be reopening. You think everything's great. You think you've put every safety measure in place. But then again, on the right is your customer. There's something missing. It might be minor, it might be major, but there's just something missing. You just need to think about that, but you need to think about it in the way that how can you plan for that? How can you plan for that change so you do see everything from your own customer's perception? If you think about somebody making a phone call, we've all been through those situations where you ring a business and it rings, that's straight away giving you a bad feeling. Even sometimes when they do answer the phone, again, it might not be a warm greeting. Things like this have massive impacts on businesses and customers coming back. Right, sorry for the delay there. And finally, just to go through the basics, it's all about the 3 dimensions. So there's a functional part of a customer experience, there's an easy part of it, and there's an emotional part of it. What's crucial is that bit there. It's all about how you make people feel. Think about, the birth of your child. your holiday, a marriage, maybe even a divorce. It all has an emotional feel on it, and that is what you remember. Customer experiences and dealing with your businesses are no different. You are trying to get an emotional feeling into your customers. That is what you're trying to do. You know, the basic customer services of smiling, good eye contact, good body language. Yeah, obviously that comes as a standard nowadays. But how can you make people feel? Absolutely crucial. You know, I know lots of Yorkshire businesses who do this really, really well. But where do we start? I said we're going to give you some hints and tips. So let's go into a bit more, you know, what can you do? What can you think about doing? What we would say here is, again, put yourself in the shoes of your customer here. Be really candid about your own business as I go through these slides and just think, am I doing this? Aren't I doing this? Okay, so where do we start? One, how are you communicating? Or in another way, are you communicating? So if you've been a lockdown business, are you actually keeping your customers up to date with regard to bookings? If they're coming, you know, can they come? When are they coming? Are you doing that? What is your website saying about your business currently? What is your social media saying? If you're chasing money, what about that? I'm going to come on to examples for all of these. Communicate is key. So we're in uncharted territory. So now more than ever, people feel bewildered, afraid, uninformed, and looking for trusted advice and support. So we know there's loads of advice and support out there. Our inboxes are probably full of it. But yeah, we are no different. As individuals, we are no different to your customers. We're probably feeling that all ourselves at this moment. But just remember, your customers are as well. We are seeing businesses adapting quickly. So across the country, you know, we're all seeing businesses start to open up now. Whether the rights and wrongs of that I won't go into today. I'm not political. Businesses are adapting quickly to change. They are planning for the future. This is a great time for you. Absolutely a great time to just be planning. It's a real good space to reach out. It won't be expected. What I mean by that is, you know, talk to your customers, talk to your suppliers, talk to your staff. It's all about communication. I am going to bang on about that C word throughout this. You have the opportunity to delight and surprise your clients, customers at this point in time. So just think about that. Just think about what can you do differently to what you might do normally to just say, hi, how are you? Are you looking forward to Yorkshire? Are you looking forward to your stay? You know, things have changed. Clearly, a lot of these, I'm sure you've had lots of cancellations in businesses, but if they're getting rebooked, share with them some good stories about why, you know, why come back. So I love James's headline. Why are they coming back? Let's give them a really good reason to come back, and quickly. And also think about your competition. So your competition might not be doing anything. So it's a great chance for you to really maximize client and customer relationships, and really stand out from the crowd. Stand out from the crowd. We all know it's busy out there. It's a great opportunity to really show that you care. And your customer perception of your business will always stick with people for a very, very long time. So how you're helping people now and caring for people now is likely to last for a lot longer. Because we'll just remember these. I'm sure we will all look back at 2020 and just think, who actually went out their way to help us? Who went out their way to help us? Doing nothing is not an option. So these are some of the examples. Hopefully some of you can resonate with this maybe. Doing nothing is not an option. So I've not heard from my accountant, not heard from him. I could not get hold of anyone to discuss my problem. Yeah, businesses have just gone dark, some of them. Just gone dark. Phone lines are off, web chat's off. You can't email them, or they're not replying to your emails. I don't know how to get information, help from the website. It just isn't there. I've paid for stuff, but I don't know when I will receive it. Yeah, they might have made some bookings with you. What is happening? You need to communicate with them. I was waiting for someone to get back to me, but the business is now closed. Again, just bad communication. I can't get deliveries a lot. I'm sure that resonates maybe if anyone's been trying to get onto the supermarkets. I know they're doing great work on that. But yeah, there are loads and loads of frustrations out there, but you can't do nothing. It's not an option to deliver a great experience. I don't feel safe. So safety is for us at the moment the absolutely number one thing to be starting to think about. Okay, we are seeing lots of businesses opening, obviously with those social distancing in place. You need to plan it. Okay, I'm not going to go down the road of health and safety here with all your wonderful risk assessments. Okay, that is not customer experience to us. What's customer experience to us is how are you going to actually communicate with those customers that they can have confidence to come to visit you. Same applies to your staff. Why will your staff feel safe to come back to work and work with their colleagues? Get some great communication going on what you're doing, why you're doing it, and your plans. We need to get people feeling really confident that they can come back and use businesses and work in them. And yeah, the last one to sum it up, we are seeing some examples where, you know, employees are just furloughed and they're just not hearing from anybody. They're just not hearing from anybody. You've got to be having good messaging on a regular message, have a communication plan, whether it be weekly, twice weekly, every day, whatever it is you did before. I would nearly double that plan as to you need to keep in contact with people. So think about the perception again, going back to that. So as an email, I'm sure we've all seen this again. We can resonate with this. Your email is important to us and we will respond as soon as possible. I'm out of the office. I have limited access. Your query cannot wait on my return. So if it's urgent, you can contact me. Okay, to us, that is again such a process-driven internal email response. There is nothing in there really which is that helpful to a customer. No caring or emotional part of that to the customer. You know, it's not saying thank you for the email. It's not saying anything about when we really are going to come back to you and how we can help you and how it's, I don't know, a difficult time, but we are working for you. It's all about the internal process. So think about those communications, please do. Websites. So at insight6, yeah, as most businesses, we're massively impacted. So over the last 5-6 weeks, we've started looking at businesses' website to think how good is their communication. For no apparent reason, we decided to pick on the brewery and distillery industry. You know, the alcohol sales we knew we were seeing were booming, but we were thinking, you know, we know some breweries are doing really well, but we're thinking, is everybody else getting sort of a piece of that cake, so to speak? And when we started reviewing websites, we were noticing that, you know, 64% of websites weren't even referencing that COVID existed in the world. And 46% of those websites didn't make it clear that the business was open for business, and were able to take orders. To just think about that. Just think. You know, come 1 o'clock today, you sit down with your, you know, your sandwich and cake, all good Yorkshire produce, I'm sure. Just think about your own website and go and look at your own website and just think, what is this saying to our, you know, our future, you know, prospects of people who are going to come and use us, going to buy from us. Okay. 81% of companies offered their web browsing customers an online purchase and delivery option. It needs to be really clear. Okay, it needs to be really clear that you can buy from them. And then, yeah, locally. So, you know, we're a local business working with local Yorkshire people. Just think about all those people who are in your catchment area, who are, you know, can't really go anywhere. You know, can you deliver locally? Can you do that if you've got that type of business? But I know this website example is not relevant to everybody, but just think in general about your own website. What is it really saying to your customers? We're seeing some great businesses. You may have seen them for like garden centres where they are setting up videos, really sort of doing a sort of virtual tour, really putting in plans and places, you know, to give some real consumer confidence that you can go back to that business and use it. You know, showing the staff in the, you know, PPE gear, all that sort of stuff, and the 2 meter markers, all that will help to get people up and running again. So what have changed? It's about process, really. We all get so wrapped up in internal processes. You need to start really thinking about the experience. Social distancing. First time I've used this term, but it could be fun. There could be a fun element. You could make it a really positive customer experience. Just think about how you can do that. Okay, based on your own businesses. Language, absolutely a key part of CX. Really think about the tone you're using to your customers at this time. Okay, they're the ones you want back. They're the people who you are paying wages to. Your suppliers, you need more off. You need them again. So this is just a simple example of a debt recovery email which can be used. It just makes it clear, I suppose. I look at this today again, and I think there are probably tweaks in this what could be better still. But it's sort of there's an emotional message in there. There's a realism into that. People come first. We know your staff are more important. But yeah, as a supplier, please consider us. We're still here for you. And yes, we would like to get paid, but we know they're going to be delays. So why will your customers return to you? Okay, let's be honest, you can't assume they're going to come back. We can't assume it. Associations, your own businesses, you will do everything you can to basically, make sure that they know that you're open. You should be. If you're not, you should be. But some businesses, as we know, are evolving. They're pivoting. They're changing what they can offer. So we're going to come on to some of those ideas now. And don't forget, what I'm going to say is don't forget, you're not alone. You are not alone with however you feel or think currently. Okay, so insight6 over the last month or so again, we went out to 75 leaders and they just gave us their feelings on where they were now. This is a document which is out on there on social media, but again, if Welcome to Yorkshire wishes to share, they can happily send it to you. There's some, it's an in-depth document. There are 50 tips in there. What might resonate with you. Use it. Some of the highlights out of it, just to get us all to feel sort of positive, really. With 78% of leaders felt that their business is going to emerge with their full team. Okay, positive, like it. 39% of leaders who have less work than they did prior to the pandemic feel that their business will emerge stronger in the future. Okay, like that. 49% of leaders said their biggest support over this period has come from their team. Okay, I said it earlier. Okay, customers are also about your staff. They are a key customer to you. And we love the fact that 49% of leaders felt that their team was supporting and helping them. To be on other calls with people, we are finding that some staff are not communicating back to the owner or manager, whereby it's not always about the owner and manager communicating with them. They're just not coming back to them. So do think about your people. A lot of it is about behaviours and attitudes. But what really great about that document is, it just backed up our thinking that, a lot of businesses are really adapting very well. They are being adaptable and they are communicating. The best businesses are really communicating with people. So think about that again. So is your customer feedback aligned? Basically, what we're trying to get to here is, measurement of customer experience is crucial. Okay, you can't improve something if you don't know what it is. Okay, you can't do that. So you need to make sure that there's some sort of feedback process in place which is aligned to your own business plan, to your own sort of morals and reasons for being in business, I suppose. What do you want from your customer feedback? What do you want? What do you want to hear? What do you need? What do your customers want in the future? If they visited you, what do they want in the future? How can you be better? We've all used to filling in surveys. I'm not going to go into Net Promoter Score today at all, but it's just an important part of customer experience, measuring it. You know, if you go to any sort of coffee shop, or Premier Inn's are great examples, you know, you all get these 0 to 10 questions, 10 being, you know, you love the place, 0, you're definitely never going back. It's just a great way of measuring and constant improvement. Constant improvement is what we're about, and trying to help you be the best you can be. Do you want your customers to feel like they do on the left, or do you want customers to feel like that on the right? I know, you know, if you're on this call, I know that you're trying to go for delighted customers. You want customers to be happy. You want them to feel safe. You want them to be coming back to your business time and time again. We did this exercise last year in a lot of Welcome to Yorkshire webinars, and I didn't have this in the slide deck until about half an hour before this. I just think it's a really good exercise to just think about again today. What words, and it is only words, you know, it's not long statements, would a customer use to explain what they see, feel, and hear about your business now? Now, what are they seeing, feeling, and hearing about your business in just a few words? I don't like giving people work, but just think about that this afternoon. Just write it down. Just think about it, and you know, if they're positive, brilliant. If they're a little bit, you know, in that middle ground, well, what are you going to do to change that? Plan it out. What are you going to do differently to get those positive vibes back? And you can do the same with the team. You can absolutely do the same with the team. Get them to think about it as well. Okay, it's just one method. There's loads of methods, clearly, but it's one method of just getting planning and developing and getting your business right for the future. Think about making it memorable. So whatever customer experience you are delivering, there's clearly competition out there. Why do they buy from you? Why do they use you? Think about how can you stand out from that crowd? How can you stand out from the crowd? Focus on little big things. When we say little big things, people who are doing sort of food deliveries, you know, sometimes food is not just coming in a box or in a carrier bag. What they're doing there maybe is little handwritten notes, or they can be printed notes, just saying, hope you're well, glad you ordered from us today, hope to see you face to face in the future. That can be one little big thing. It's so simple to do, but has a massive impact on how the customer might feel in the future and then. And on another spin, unexpected, small and personal. What is your USP? What is special about your business? So we've seen businesses, you know, they have great databases. They know when customers' birthdays are. They might know who their pets are. They are doing special things beyond the normal at these times to reach out, communicate that your business is alive and well, and you're looking forward to them returning. And if you go back to those 6 reasons for, you know, focusing on customer experience, loyalty is based on emotion. Absolutely, is based on emotion. How you make them feel now will last a very, very long time, whether they're in your business or not. Okay, whether they're there today or they're coming in 3 months' time. Customer journey management. Okay, so I'm sure some of you might have heard of customer journey planning. You can have customer journey process maps. This is just wrapped up into one. Okay, wrapped up into one. What I would get you to think about on here is actually what was frustrating you in your business before all this. Okay, it's a great time to think about those bugbears. Think about, you know, the customer journey you had. Yes, think about how it is changing, but then think, how can we make all these wonderful touch points, in your customer journey, how can you make it really easy, really functional for a customer to use, but how can you make it memorable? How can you make it emotional? Okay, how can you do that? So some top tips. Okay, This is where I start repeating myself a lot. Communicate, communicate, communicate. I think I probably said that about 20 times now. Be authentic, empathetic and transparent with your customers to continue building relationships. Okay, comes from the C's again. Plan now. This is a brilliant time to plan. So for me to be sat here today, yeah, I'm frustrated, as I'm sure most of you. You know, you haven't left, you can't really go anywhere. There's nowhere to go. I would love to get outside to Yorkshire, but it has been a great time to plan my business in the future. Because yeah, just you can't assume things are going to return. It's a great time to review your customer experience because you've got that time. But build your business around your customer is what customer experience is about. Okay, it's not about those processes. Okay, it's really not. We all know you need processes, but you can build a business about what your customer experiences want to, what your customers want to feel and see in your business. Ask them for feedback. Okay, if you're not doing it, please start. Okay, it can be as simple as when you do see them, 2 questions, just ask them, what did we do well? How can we improve? 2 questions you can do face to face. Okay, we can do it now online. We just want you to be different to the competition out there. Stay positive. Okay, really stay positive at this point. Stay positive yourselves, make sure your teams are positive, and just make sure you make people feel special every single time. Every single moment where you have some sort of customer interaction, what can you do differently? How can you just make them feel special? So other Insight6, obviously it was great that Welcome to Yorkshire allowed us to speak today. It's us working in partnership with them. We work with lots of tourism businesses. We do lots of different things. If you want a further chat after today, please do. We're sort of heading towards Q&As. I can't see the chat box at this moment, so I'm looking forward to going back to that. But also think about these things. Okay, so again, thinking about this event today, I just thought, what is important to you? I'm not saying these are right, but this was just me just thinking as a tourism business in Yorkshire. What can you sell now for people to visit later? What options are available on your website? Think about that. I'm not going to even say the second one. I've said it a lot, but communication is more important now than ever. Just do it. Focus on the memory of the experience, and think about partnerships. So what local businesses can you work with to create an added value experience? So I know there's loads of great Yorkshire businesses who do loads of great collaborations, but the thing that sprung to my mind at the end of last week was sort of your local restaurants and sort of B&Bs. So it's like, you know, they don't traditionally clearly do the evening meal because the guests go out to the restaurants. Well, they are potentially not open, or customers are if they came to your B&B, they might not really want to go to a busier restaurant. Well, actually, what collaboration can there be there? It might be that you can organise a system of having takeout meals, and that could form part of your, I don't know, pricing to get them to come here because they get a delightful, you know, meal from whichever restaurant that might be local to you. Don't forget that customers are not lost. They are not lost. They are basically just currently unavailable. They are unavailable, but will be back. Okay, I thought that was sort of very important to just remember, because I think we forget this. Customers are just stuck at home. They will have money to spend, and they will be coming back. And as a final note, the elephant. People won't remember what you did. They won't remember what you said, but they will remember how you made them feel. Hopefully that is sort of a good memory. Hopefully that has got you making some notes, and there's some hints and tips in that presentation. But yeah, hopefully I will take you back to James now, and we will crack on with some Q&As.
Yeah, thank you for that, Ian. Really appreciate that. We'll give you a chance to have a cup of tea and a glass of water, or a bit of cake that you referred to earlier on in the presentation. We do have some questions coming in, and if you're prepared to take them, I'll run them through them now. So just give me a thumbs up. I can see you. Everybody else might not be able to, and you probably need to turn your screen sharing off so that we can see me or you again now. Yeah, a couple of questions coming in, and we've got up until 1 o'clock. So question number 1, and I'll just read these in the order that they've come in. I have predominantly an older male group of workers who are resistant to change, up to 6 in total within the public transport sector. I've spoken with them about reopening, and there's lots of negativity about future operations, ability to social distance, although we are risk assessing and have vigorous regimes in place. How do I approach this and overturn the negativity and ensure we all follow our rules? So do you want me to read that again, or have you got the question?
I think I've got the basics there, James. I think I've got the basics. I like an easy question to start with, obviously. Transport, you said transport, didn't you? Transport industry.
Yes.
Mature members of staff. So yeah, they probably got some sort of they probably got a culture of not necessarily being used to change, shall we say. I think as a business owner, you got to think of it from a business owner. You've got customers you need to serve at some point. You got to take your staff feelings on board. Without knowing the full ins and outs of it, you do need to just really gather the, can you get them all together? Can you get them all together like today on a Zoom call to really share those feelings and really sort of battle it out and sort of plan it out what it is they really need, and start doing things in a small way, I suppose. At the moment, I would tend to find with our clients that, it's just such a massive thing at the moment trying to return to work. There's so much to think about, but you just need to really sort of prioritize to get every single feeling down on a piece of paper, get your team to prioritize each issue, and then just work through each individual problem one by one until you're ready to go. I hope that helps.
It does. So just to confirm, it's or reiterate what you've just said. Really difficult when you're not able to get in a room with people. It's often things get lost in translation. So try a Zoom call first. Try get back into the office with staff and try get them all on the same page. Is that what you'd say? Exactly that,
James. You put it into better words than me, I'm sure, James.
No, far from it. Okay, another question here. Not able to give you the name, I'm afraid, and we respect that. Are there any examples of organisations or people who are doing customer experience work as you've described really well right now? So any examples of organisations, whether within Yorkshire or worldwide, that are really responding to the customer journey or feedback and keeping their customers up to date? Any examples other than Welcome to Yorkshire, of course?
Obviously, Welcome to Yorkshire. Any examples for me? Like we said, we use a lot of globally. We take a lot of work from global. So globally, we know the likes of Amazon of the world, Ritz-Carlton hotels. They certainly all focus on a customer experience strategy. This may surprise a few, but there are a lot of banks who actually do it at the moment. It tends to be more sort of the international banks than the ones we know. In Yorkshire, you're putting me on the spot there, really. There are clearly our clients must do it. They must be delivering great customer experience every single day.
Yeah, and examples of good customer service. So I was speaking to a bed and breakfast owner the other day that was saying, James, we've got a problem here in that we're now into summer. We've lost spring. We want people back, but also we're waiting for government advice to not open the floodgates, but tell us all that it's safe to reopen. So we're talking about confidence and trust a lot from both sides of the fence here. Confidence and trust that a bed and breakfast or other business could open and feel that they're able to take customers safely, and then trust from the consumer that the establishment that they're going to is safe and trustworthy and they're adhering to the rules. So they said, right, okay, bed and breakfasts, the clue is in the title. Breakfast is a massive part of the enjoyment of staying away at a holiday cottage. But if they can't serve a cooked breakfast because that means 20 or 30 people in a small room, which is normally the fun, they're adapting to say they'll only offer continental breakfast, and sorry, that's all they can do for now, with food wrapped in polythene or cereal boxes, and that's all they can do. But prior to that, the marketing is, we're trying our best. There are other reasons that you come into the hotel. Does that make sense?
It does. For me, in the local York, I don't want to name names really, but yeah, we've seen, we work with lots of farm shops, and yeah, there's a farm shop close to me here. I'm based in York, who's, they have been great on social media. They've been showing videos of the whole process. There've been a lot more. We've seen virtual tours happening. Theme park wise, I know when I was doing a bit of research on the likes of sort of Alton Towers, even. I know that's not Yorkshire, it's a terrible example. But yeah, they were really up on it. If you go and look at their website at the moment, they've been really on it in communication and saying, you can rebook and we've refunded you. But yeah, videos and just getting out using the right language out there. I've seen some really good blackboards on, where they post it on social media of like what to expect when you get inside the venue, inside the store. And what, it's really clear what they're expecting from their staff. So they're sharing what they're telling their staff to do, to what they want to deliver now. I think for me, what did I see most recently, which is Yorkshire? Farmer Copley's was down there. I think I saw Rob speaking on a video the other day. I think they have values within their business, but they were speaking that they changed them now to being caring. I'm sure that was there before, but it's more prominent, and being really sort of convenient and quick, because they want people in the store and they're getting out quickly, but it's safe environment for staff and customers.
Yeah. Another question in from one of our friends and partners over in East Yorkshire. So Christian at Williams Den. I think the question is, who covers East Yorkshire from Insight6? Have you got a team of staff that would work over on the East Coast that you can?
That is me. So yeah, I'm based in York. So yeah, when I'm allowed out, I'm typically going past the 1079 to Hull. So that's my patch. Hornsey, all that up to, and then I go up to as far as Hartlepool is my patch.
Oh, great! So a big area. A couple more in before we finish, Ian, and then maybe more offline as well. This is a thank you more than anything. Thanks, Ian. This was thought-provoking, and yes, tangible of things that we can and must communicate now. So he'll add that to his notes and will be used in the meeting. Nick Smith from Your Tours, who's always loyal to us. Great, thanks. My thoughts just posted. Although Nick, I can't see those thoughts, so maybe we can find them if Emma can dig any tweets out from Nick. And I suppose before we finish, Ian, how can people get in touch or become a client of yours? Are you offering any introductory services, any free consultations for anyone that may want to take on board some of your advice today?
Thanks, James. You do set me up well, don't you? You do set me up well. Yeah, Insight6. So from our point of view, yeah, we're all working. So certainly we've always worked with sort of free consultations at the start. So certainly you can give me a ring. I'm on that Welcome to Yorkshire website. You can certainly ring me. You can email me. I'm sure the Twitter handle's out there somewhere, LinkedIn. But yeah, we do free consultations for about an hour. Happily have a chat with your business. The way we work is it's very much about you feeling that we can help you. It needs to feel right for you to partner with us, to be completely honest. The things we are doing at the moment is we have done a lot of we do have a fair bit of free information out there at the moment. So I think I mentioned in that presentation that leadership survey. Happy to share that with whoever wants it. So they can email me, whether it's via yourself, but my email address is ian.sadler@insight6.com, so they can do that. But yeah, we're doing about the feedback system. We do have, I can't give too many secrets away because I know it's a national marketing plan come next Monday, but there is a feedback service we're offering for next Monday, which is very much about safety, So that will be something which will certainly be out on social media, which people may be interested in.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah, and Emma's just posted that online with your web address and your email. So Ian, we're coming to a close now. Thank you for your time today. Thank you for everyone that was listening and that's contributed. There may be questions in our inbox and online that we can refer back to you later. But if you've not got any closing comments, we will thank you and call it a draw. We'll probably do this again later on in the summer. I think this is going to be the new way of working that we all expect. And maybe you can do a webinar on the customer service journey of webinars and Zoom calls, etc., and how to make sure we get the best out of it. But other than that, Ian, thank you for your time. For anyone else still watching, yes, refer back to yorkshire.com/latest news and our Twitter account, at welcome to Yorks, that's the number 2, and at WTY Industry. I've got another Zoom call at 1 o'clock, so best go prepare for that. I've got one at 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. So good luck everyone, and keep going. Thank you. Bye bye. Thanks, Ian.
Thank you.